Just remember who was the first to say that Luka was toxic.
People are like, oh, this guy's worth a lot of money. It's like, is he though? He's never won.
That seems like a king move. I'm gonna stay here and gonna turn this thing around.
That's a steal nowadays. That's like eighth man money.
I think it's gonna be fun for at least 2 years.
Welcome back to another exciting episode of Please Dunk Responsibly. We're here to do our finals recap. It's only 2-3 weeks late. What's that? We need to get our draft prognostication done. Yeah, we'll do that. What about the first day of free agency? What do you expect to have happen there? Oh, man, we'll find out. With me as always, I'm one of your hosts, Ben Rice. With me as always, my co-host,
Phil Webster. Yes, to give us some leeway or grace here. There has been a lot going on in personal life and in the NBA. So if not, we'd be really behind either way. Yeah. So this kind of gives us a chance to wrap everything up.
Yeah. If this is showing up in your feed, like, let's just say like July 6th, there was probably a glitch on your podcasting app. That's it. You know, it's been out for weeks.
Yes.
It definitely wasn't recorded July 5th at 8 p.m. That's not what happened at all. No, I don't even remember the draft anymore. I'm pretty sure I was right about the Warriors in 6. Stick to your guns. We talked about one time we didn't do it, and when we were wrong.
Right. I mean,
we had our rules. Yeah, I think it was like, don't bet against rested LeBron in the playoffs. And they're like, I don't think they got it. And they won.
Yes, I think that was it. And then I think Giannis, we thought, wouldn't score 50 points and make every free throw, and he did exactly that. We thought it was going to be our boy Chris Middleton taking him to the promised land if they needed to, and Giannis went unworldly. And
as if like, no, I'm the MVP, you idiots. But that was one time we were wrong, and it's rare.
Yeah, sure. Which just happens. Nobody bets his house.
But look, there's been a lot of free agency stuff going on. A lot of moves, a lot of money moving around, a lot of players moving around. But one player, our signature player, here at Please Dunk Responsibly, I think, has thrown his hat in the ring.
Yes, again.
Which begs a very important question, Phil.
How good is Kevin Durant, really?
How good? And I think we've both stuck to our guns on this one as well. Phil, how good is Kevin Durant really?
Yeah, I would say he's pretty good.
Incredibly good.
Demanding good? Is it like, is he a problem child? Yes.
Ooh.
Is he as bad as Kyrie or these other guys? He's not a Milkshake IPA. He's not a Milkshake IPA. But
no, that dude's a double IPA, maybe a triple IPA.
He's a really good double IPA.
Yeah.
He's a Pliny the Elder. He's a Pliny the Elder. Like, that's what he is. He's just a staple. He's really good at what he does when he's healthy. But he is also very sensitive and needs everything to go his way, and he's just tired of it. And he has that power. He has that right. He has that power. But if that was LeBron James doing what he does, like, LeBron would be crucified. I don't care how many championships he has. So,
yeah. So, Phil, it begs a question on my end. Phil, when are you demanding a trade from Please Dunk Responsibly? Let me tell you, I've shopped you, and the market's not there, bro. So if you're thinking it, I just want you to know the market
is very bare. Yes, the market is, so there's no demanding over here. I'm going to take what I can get, and I'm going to stay here for a little while. I like what we've built so far. No Kyrie.
Yeah.
We both have absentee issues, and I think we're working on it.
Yeah, look, I tore, like lots of things happened. I've got all kinds of injuries racking up, constant conditioning issues, a very Zion Williamson type of life.
Yes. Yes, you lead for personal reasons, and I have to leave for personal reasons. And Achilles, Yeah. So
there are some people who have children and they become like the best they've ever been. We are not those people.
No, we are not. No, we become worse.
Almost as if our infrastructure is very different from an NBA team's infrastructure.
Our infrastructure crumbled like sand.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Sandpaper. That's actually tougher. Actually, sandpaper is much tougher than sand. Okay, so I was wrong there. But anyway, Please Dunk Responsibly. We're a basketball and beer podcast. We drink beers and compare them to players and teams and all that stuff. And I wanted to get into that because we know we're late, and we know our loyal listener has been waiting with bated breath. So we are punishing ourselves on this. We are having to sign a mediocre rookie contract guy to a max contract by drinking some beers from our fridge that have been tucked away. We've refused to make eye contact with it for a while.
Pushing, it's just down at the end of the bench, and it's time that they get their shine. We're getting smoked by 80, and they're just going to get their final chance to run the floor for the last 3 or 4 minutes of the game. What are you drinking there, Ben?
All right. This is obviously a Please Dunk Responsibly special, drinking a Full Circle Brewing Strawberry Illa Milkshake IPA. That's strawberry and vanilla, 6.5%.
Wow. What did you do to deserve
color 5 skulls, malt 1 skull, hops 4 skull. As you know, we don't like milkshake IPAs. As far as that, hold on, I need to read this typo.
Please.
So it's India Pale Ale brewed with strawberries, vanilla, NAD lactose. Now, I've not had NAD lactose, but I'm not sure I'm a fan.
No?
But as much as we've talked about how much we hate milkshake IPAs, I do think Full Circle makes a pretty decent one. Now, the problem here is hey, Ben, you're talking pretty nice about a thing that you're supposed to be punishing yourself with. Canned on April 13th. Not too bad. It's July 5th.
No,
it's a little bit past.
That's almost
2021. 2021.
Oh my. Oh, God.
Year and 3 months old.
God.
Been sitting in a cooler.
Just aging and fermenting and it's not flat. It's definitely not flat.
Yeah, had a little bit of carbonation left over on it.
There is.
A lot of strawberry in there, a little bit of vanilla. Again, not too clear on what NAD lactose tastes like, but
I don't know either. And lactose?
NAD lactose.
Yeah, NAD, yeah. NAD is probably a version. Maybe he makes the lactose. Maybe his name is NAD.
Yeah. It's fine. The hops have died off for sure, or they've just been swallowed alive by this fruit. It's fine.
Maybe.
The punishment could have been worse.
Yeah, it looks good. I mean, yes, if we're going to punish ourselves, we're going to. Now, I'm not punishing myself as bad as you are by age, but definitely by choice of ingredients. Mine that I am drinking is a fruited sour.
Okay,
it's not quite a milkshake IPA, but I think it's in the category. It's by Movement Brewing, which we also support. We said they're a shining rookie in Sacramento County. That,
COVID baby.
Doing some things. Yeah, COVID baby. And they just push through. They're very trendy, very popular brewery. Go check them out if you're in the area. They did, it looks like a collab with Beer Zombies. To make a slushy beer with fruited sour that has, as my punishment would state, watermelon candy syrup, cherry, and marshmallow.
Fuck it.
Now, this has been in my fridge for about, 4 months.
Okay.
It's March 11th, I think.
22.
Yeah, there's been a reason I've been dodging it. The can is very colorful. It is not telling any lies about what's in it. And it looks like a purplish, gooey type, uncarbonated, fruit juice. And that's what it is. It's not really sour. It's pretty sweet on every level. All that stuff is sugar. It's unfortunate.
Semi-fermentable
I know
sugar.
they tried. I think they were trying to use the marshmallow to maybe calm down the tartness of it. Maybe it was, and so they thought, "Oh, that's a smart idea." And all it did was add more sugar. It didn't really cream it out or do anything that they really wanted, besides maybe cloud it up. Yeah, so it's not my favorite, but I'm going to punish myself. We're going to get through it. I hate this almost as much as I hate Kyrie Irving. Like, it's getting pretty
we got to
close.
compare it to a player. Is that where we're going? Or
yes, this is definitely Kyrie Irving for me. It's like all good intentions. I like each one of these ingredients
those
separately.
Are all bad intentions.
But not together. But there's
no. Cherry's not even good in sours.
Terrible.
Like, cherry's not even a good souring fruit. Dark
I've
cherry,
had one. I've had one or two that have been delightful if it's, again, done properly.
Yeah.
But you can't do it in like 2 months and then again say like, oh, this is acidic, so let's just throw in watermelon candy and marshmallow.
Yeah, you could do a classic old school sour, which I have to qualify, and then like age it on cherries. Totally fine, totally doable.
Sure.
But this,
we've seen that cherry Spontaine, McKellar. There's I think Goose Island did one. Yeah. Like when they were making really nice sours. But again, like, it's not those. This is you could clearly see it's basically grapefruit juice or raspberry puree, like in a glass, and again, it's just not delightful. It's if I was going to do that, I want some work. I don't want to just open a can of preserves. Like, I wanted it to be clear, maybe seem like it's trying to be like an effervescent of some sort, and there's just nothing there. It's very flat. It's very, again, it's just, there's too much sugar probably to make this into anything besides a way to get kids drunk.
Yeah, so I got to pick a beer for mine. As we know, Milkshake IPAs, they're a game that people either love or hate. Generally speaking, the James Hardens, the Russell Westbrooks of it. Now, this is a very nice Milkshake IPA that surprisingly held up despite being ignored, which makes it a little bit tougher.
That is pretty, that gives me a high grade just for longevity.
Yeah, I mean, Full Circle is like a pro brewer. I think they really care about what their canning line does, so I think their stuff's built to last. But I'm going to say it, and I want you to know that this is not my kind of milkshake. A milkshake is a love 'em or hate 'em kind of player. This one for me is never really, like, I've heard a lot of great things, and I've never really been impressed. This is a Kemba Walker to me.
Ooh.
It's like, oh, that guy's still around? It's in the back of my fridge? Okay.
He is still around.
He's trade filler right now, but it's like people are like, oh, he's one of the best point guards. Like, his handle's so good, his shot's so good. I'm like, I watched him live like 4 times. I'm like, I don't see it.
He was so good. He had a really good college. Villanova, right? Like, good college career.
I think about it in UConn.
UConn, that's correct. Very good college career. He came out with a blaze of glory, like,
but no Hornets.
I know, but so did Chris. I mean, Chris Paul had to go there. Like, I mean, he had those, but it seems like his career is over. Like, he's just John Wall. He's all these guys who are great athletically, but
John Wall would be a good call on this also.
It just betrays you.
Oh, what about Bradley Beal? Like, people are like, oh, this guy's worth a lot of money. It's like, is he though? He's never won.
He has no problem collecting a paycheck.
Oh, yeah.
He is winning.
Fine.
For how fun, it's like, if you want to say he's the Klay Thompson of the Washington Wizards, sure,
yeah. You're missing like a Draymond and a Steph and like a coach.
Yeah,
but like, totally the same thing.
So I mean, if you hold on to that contract, I mean, eventually you're gonna be able to assemble all that stuff together, right?
Right. That's how the NBA definitely always plays out.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know what the benefit for keeping Beal or not really is. I mean, to sell tickets, like, are you really selling that many tickets?
You could get 3 draft picks and a serviceable player for him versus, like, what you have now. You've known what you've had for like 8 years.
Like, it's almost like they have had to do it. Like, I'm like, that's why it's so weird to me like how this works, because it's like it would benefit them to just start over, like do San Antonio and just say, you know, fuck it, we're trading him, and we're just gonna get what we can for him, and we're starting over if we get draft picks. And then you see that. You just see them do that, and San Antonio bite the bullet and just say we're starting over. And it's like, why does Washington even need to do it? It's like you're not selling any tickets.
Yeah, there's
like,
no reason. Just start over. Like, tear it all down.
Over.
And this is like I know
you're not bringing anything in there.
They're like tear it down to the studs. Is that when we keep our stud? I'm like, no, you get rid of the stud too, man. Like, it's all gotta go.
It's all gonna go. Like him and Kuzma, like, I mean, again, what are you thinking you're going to get out of that? Yeah. And again, paying them that kind of money.
7 seed, congratulations.
Who can you bring in here? Like, yeah, who can you bring in paying him that kind of money? Like paying him a max contract. Yeah. Just because he deserves it for being with you doesn't necessarily mean you give it to him. Yeah. It's the same thing with Jokic. I'm not going to say don't pay the man.
Yeah. I mean, at least with Jokic, you get a 2 seed.
But 2-time MVP, now he gets, again, he's 26 or 27, or will be 27 next year. But, like, again, what we talked about, can you win when that guy's your best player? Like, can you even get out of this first or second round? Like, with that guy being your best player, like, and again, how do you acquire other talent when you're tied down like that? We've talked about that too. Like, you're just tied down. Like, if you hold on to a player like this, like, that's what kind of worked out with the Warriors. They got so lucky is when they started winning, they were able to kind of pay those guys at a lower rate, like to kind of keep before they had to start giving them max contracts. Now they're max contracts, but now they have 4 championships, so it's a little easier to take that luxury tax.
Yeah, and it's easier to give Jokic that money because you know that, like, he's had teammates hurt in the playoffs. Like, you know, 3 of the top 4 guys were hurt the last 2 years at some point.
And he plays all the time. He plays all the time.
I mean, you can bet on, like, hey, the year we're healthy, we're going to need this. We're going to need this guy when he's healthy.
Yes. So I would have paid to go get somebody. I would have paid more to go get somebody. Maybe a Beal. I don't know. But you got to do something. Like,
yeah, I mean, you shouldn't rest on your laurels, but you know that, like, this is a guy you can build around. Like, at least they know that. With Beal, like, where's the evidence you can build around him?
Right.
There's evidence that Jokic could be a 1 seed, a 2 seed, a 3 seed by himself. Like, that's how good he is in the regular season.
Well, and this is what we talk about, right? But now, what do we do with now we're going to transition into the trades so far that we made?
Oh, like another person who's good for 1, 2, 3 seeds that maybe is gone now?
Who's now gone now to another team to maybe make them a potential 1, 2, 3 seed.
Yeah.
Rudy Gobert.
Who?
Patient Zero.
Ah, yes. The Defensive Player of the Year 2020.
Yes.
Shut down the whole league.
He shut down the whole league and then some, the world for that, all sports. Yeah. He's that good. Going to the Timberwolves. I still think the Timberwolves have to make a trade. Now, again, I thought I thought that they still had Beverly, but Beverly went in the deal. God. So he's gone. I don't know who they have as a backup point guard, but I was looking at the fact that
his name's Karl Anthony Towns, and he can play it all.
Well, D'Angelo Russell is making a ton of money as well. I know he's on his last year of his deal. He's probably going to be gone. But who do you get for him? I think there's another move that's going to be made because they can't afford Towns' max contract, him, and then pay Anthony Edwards. Like, so somebody's got to. So I see him being on the in a trade eventually. I don't know how that's going to work, but we'll see because they'd have no depth now, really, without it.
Now, I sent you a text message some time ago. Now, I have not updated this since this trade, but you know, you can get rid of D'Angelo Russell and Beasley and get a certain
Kevin
Durant. The money works. Not even including draft picks. Now, what do you think about
Now,
that?
see, that was with Russell and Beasley.
Yeah.
Beasley's gone now,
Yeah.
so I don't know
Oh,
how
Beasley
you
is gone.
get
You're right. I forgot that.
Yeah, so Beasley's gone too.
Right.
So they basically got rid of their entire bench.
Oh, no.
Well,
no, Kevin Durant in Minnesota. The thing that we all knew might happen. It was, we all saw it. Writing on the wall. Now it's gone because of Rudy Gobert. Classic Gobert.
Rudy Gobert doing the Matumbo to you right now in his sleep.
This trade is all rejected.
You,
all right, so we got to talk about it. We got two bigs in Minnesota.
Yes.
I think we go back.
AT.
Yeah.
They play more offense now. They don't have to worry about him being a liability defensively and just getting foul calls, which allows him not to go and be the offensive player that he can be, because he's trying to play defense and he can't. And he's getting run off the floor. Now he can kind of play a 4. You know, he could play outside. He doesn't have to worry about playing so physical. And you give Gobert to do what he does. And, yeah, and he still gets paid. I think he'll be happier. It's a place that's clearly wanted him. Young guys. I think it's going to be fun for at least 2 years.
Yeah,
and then we'll see.
I think it'll be weird to watch, but I do think it's a great spot for Gobert and it's a great spot for Karl Anthony Towns. I don't know if it works out, but I feel like it's like, hey,
sure,
Gobert just like plays the interior on defense, grabs some boards. Karl Anthony Towns, like you said, kind of neutralize on the defensive end, put him on the weaker 3 or 4 spot, whoever's like the weakest on that team. Let him guard that guy. Well, Gobert cleans everything up. On offense, I like them being on opposite sides of the floor. Gobert setting picks for Karl Anthony Towns. So you got to pick your poison. Just let him dive to the rim and dunk or get out of the way. I think is like if he's not setting a pick, he should be diving for dunks, getting in position for rebounding, or getting the fuck out of the way. That's Gobert on offense. Let Karl Anthony Towns shoot threes. Let him get his footwork down in the post away from Gobert. Make sure Gobert's like setting a screen for like a cutter or something. And I think that could be something really special, especially with the multi-talented Anthony Edwards. We saw him in ER. We saw him in Top Gun. We knew he had talent. Then we saw him in Hustle. Fantastic.
Fantastic. He was mesmerizing. I think he played the perfect antagonist. It was very believable, and we've also seen his skills online
on the football field.
Catching footballs, throwing footballs. He's a super talented young guy, and it seems like he got more and more bulkier. He's got muscle mass. This guy's going to be nothing to play with. He's clearly made the MO that he's number one on that offense team. He has the grit. We'll see if he brings it out at Karl Anthony Towns and those guys. They did lose Beasley. They're kind of grit and grind guy, but you know, I think again, to make that trade work, I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Like I said, if you're dumping that ball into, KAT, like on the post, on the high post, and then having Gobert screen for him to cut to the basket.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
That's going to be
But
beauty.
now you're just still, again, it's like they are going to be slower than most teams. They're going to have to figure out a way to spell each one of them. Maybe have one on the court, take the other one off, and spell each other. I'm sure they'll figure out something. That's what the coaching is supposed to do. But so that, again, that'll all be interesting. It'll just be like, how did they fill out that roster now with all that money still awarded to at least D'Angelo Russell, who seems like obviously the most guy who's going to get probably traded at least mid-season if nothing else. But yeah, they need to get at least another solid point guard, which I thought maybe they could bring Rubio back. Maybe they could get one of these other guys, but it seems like Rubio went. I can't remember where Rubio went right off the top of my head, but he's went a couple places. But yeah, so they're going to be on the search for some, maybe in their draft or something like that. Solve some of that, but yeah, 4 number ones to Utah. who are probably not going to be super competitive right now.
No. I don't know what they're going to do. I just don't see. It's going to be a year or two. And that's a long time in Utah. Those cold winters, those barren.
Well, they'll that's one team that kind of,
And they're going to have an influx of that homeless population now that their coach has left. So
yes,
it's going to be a very strange Utah.
It's going to be a very strange,
unhoused,
which is already a strange Utah. But yeah, well, it shall be interesting there. Yeah, what did they do with Donovan? And they're stuck with Connolly at least another year. And
that's so rude.
Yeah.
We were such big fans of Mike Conley when this podcast started. And they were like, "We're always stuck."
Well, so
with
were
Conley.
Utah. Well, so did Utah, and then they gave him a 3-year extension for $50-something million or something like that.
That's a steal nowadays. That's like eighth man money.
Except it's like backloaded, and I think he's getting paid like $20 million.
He's hurt and he's slow, and he never played defense to begin with.
He's 37, and
it doesn't work out. Man,
he had a 2-year window. That's why they got him, and they did. They did have. He was helpful, but now they just have guards, right? So they have Clarkson, him, and Donovan Mitchell, and then it's just figuring out what else they're going to be able to put together there with Bogdanovich hurt, Ingles. I think they traded in midseason. Yep. Now he
was hurt and he couldn't play, but now he's traded.
Oh, so now he's playing for Portland.
Yeah.
Or somewhere, So he's they have some questions in getting some big guys in there, but clearly they feel Danny Ainge, all these who's taking over there, feels like he can draft.
He's done it before.
He can draft a Williams. Yeah, that's basically what he's
like, let me just take that Celtics model and just move it to 2022.
That's pretty much what he's
doing. Get
doing.
All these draft picks and see what I do, and then I'll trade them all for 3 Hall of Fame players who are unhappy where they are. Sorry, 2 Hall of Fame players. They already had one.
Yeah, because he knows if they hold out, their number one's going to be good. Then they're also going to have the Timberwolves.
Oh yeah.
One. They're going to be able to throw a ton of those, and they're going to be top 10 in the draft and the lottery. Probably the next 2 years. So they're going to have some assets to trade.
Yeah, but I think we're beating around the bush. We need to talk about the big question remaining in NBA free agency off season. What the fuck are the Mavs doing?
What are they doing? What's
the plan?
Yeah, what are the Lakers doing?
I know this was a curveball, and I honestly have no answers. I was like, I'm going to say it, and then
I don't know what they're going to do to help. But again, this is what I will always defend: not taking Luka as much as I didn't want Bagley. Not taking Luka obviously has his issues. Obviously, they were able to make the Western Conference Finals this year, but the West was really bad. I wouldn't take that to be the case this year. Or it was just slow. I think it got competitive towards the end, but there was really, the Clippers were down.
People were hurt.
Lakers were bad.
Every league, everybody was hurt.
Everybody was hurt. So West kind of took a dump, and I think that obviously helped the Warriors and stuff like that, set them up with not a lot of adversity. But yeah, so that's why I think, Boston's going to be out there again. They made some really good moves to get better. Can you imagine when with Williams being fully healthy? Yeah, that guy's a beast.
They're going to be so good.
They're going to be
good,
really. They're going to be. They're going to maybe have one more year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're still going to have to do that. Because again, in the playoffs, people are going to take something away from you.
Yeah.
So,
and also, how are you going to deal with Marcus Smart kind of having his ego checked a little bit?
Right.
He's not the point guard.
No. Right. So. Well, and again, they're saying your lack of offense is what's hurt us, right?
Yeah, and he's but I worked so hard on it. He did. He worked so hard on it.
He did.
You know what? We're bringing in a guy, and I think that's gonna mess with him.
Well, eventually, I think they have 1 year before they're going to have to break them up anyway.
Yeah.
So they get like one more redo. They'll have Brogdon for 2 years, I think. And so.
And you can put him on shooting guard, I guess. You can put.
And you can put him on.
You can put him at 3, but you can't because there's already an overload on 3.
Right. Tatum is already. So you got a lot of threes. No, exactly. And again, you're not going to keep both of those guys. I would assume somebody's going to go after next year. So
I think they got to see what this year is. They have to know, what does this team look like with everybody at full strength. They have to test it. They can't get rid of anybody right now.
No, that's why you have to be all in, and you just hope Williams is healthy, and you go back at it, and then you just hope that Tatum gets better, and the team just gets better as a whole, and they just have who's going to do what down the stretch. So then that way it's not just one-on-one basketball, which never works in the playoffs. And they just got to get better.
I feel like Brogdon really is that he's the filler that helps make sure the ball moves
perfect
around.
If it works.
If it works,
they've
and
been
if he's
cursed.
healthy,
They've been cursed in that point guard
position. If he is who he has
they
been,
got cursed by Kyrie. They got cursed by Kemba Walker.
It's the Isaiah Thomas dealing. That's really what it was. The disloyalty to Isaiah Thomas.
Yes, they've been cursed since. Yes, they're getting cursed.
Speaking of disloyalty to Isaiah Thomas, your team did things.
My team did do things.
Good things.
I'm very excited with all they did. Yes, in the draft they took Keegan Murray with the 4th pick overall. I'm very happy with that. Despite people saying they should have taken Jaden Ivey.
I don't think so. That's where
which I was
kid,
like,
right?
again, yes, and this is where I would have said that's the redundancy. They had already done that with Halliburton. Like, how many more point guards are you going to get? You already found your guy.
Yeah, and
if Fox is your guy,
and
you're hitching into it. Yeah, and so you get a guy who can play in between. Oh, surprise!
We have a special guest on the podcast. Sneaking in. Sorry to cut you off on this. Sorry, if we're going to have Kings, I'm going to play a full house. I don't know how.
We need some comedy.
Poker reference inserted here. The whatever makes you laugh. Put the poker reference in. I also found in my fridge a blueberry Illa from Full Circle. That's blueberry, vanilla, and lactose. Not that much. Not mad lactose.
Not mad lactose.
Again, 6.5%. Now this is newer. I want to let the listener know this is newer. It's from April 29th, 2021, as opposed to April 13th. So this is 16 days fresher, and it's blueberries, a flavor that can be overpowering or completely disappear.
Is never, and probably is one of the true flavors that doesn't taste as good as the fake flavor.
Yeah, no, fake blueberries over real blueberries every time when it comes to flavor.
Every time, 0 time. Yes,
they add nothing but tart. It's like, this is really tart. What is it? It's tart. We added tart.
And grape. Yeah, we added tart and grape. So
that's how the color came through.
It tasted like something. Yes.
Oh,
but no, so they did that. They got some off-season moves. They
let DiVincenzo leave,
so they let DiVincenzo
but he was coming off an injury.
I think he was butthurt about playing time, and I think he just wanted to go somewhere else. But they made the trade for Herter. We both really like that guy.
That
guy's that guy. He's in it again.
Brogdon level glue guy.
He's been underutilized because, again, we talked about it.
The Hawks have too many players. They just had too many.
Well, and they just don't have, and they didn't have a facilitator to get him the ball. Like, that's not.
But he's also a facilitator. Like, he's really good at that also.
No, he is. I mean, it's like getting Bogdanovich back, but younger and a little bit more seasoned. So, hopefully he'll know his spots. Fox has weapons. Bogdanovich, not Bogdanovich, but
Sabonis.
They have weapons. Sabonis has weapons and everybody to throw to. Keegan seemed very good in Summer League. I went to the game. By the way, side note,
California Classic.
Warriors, at the California Classic, Chase Center is trash. It is it's like you could have put anything And if you had told me that was the Red Wing Stadium or a hockey team, I would have believed that too. There's literally almost no signage. It's very like a bank building. It just has brown awnings. Like the Kings did us a favor. Like whatever Golden won the design, it has like special stuff. And yes, I'm a homer, but good Lord, was that sterile. It could not be more.
Well, it's the same stadium that Bill Russell played in when he was back at SFU, so... Or USF, sorry.
Yeah, USF, yeah.
Because they could never say SFU. That's not...
No, don't say... Well, I mean, you could say FU.
You're right. But no, you can't say FU. Yeah. Back in the 50s, you couldn't say that. But, yeah, USF, it's the same stadium. I'm talking out my ass, but it seems like probably.
It's very... Again, it's just white. It's just white with brown accents. Again, like nothing really to say like this is Warrior Stadium. Like again, they got the outside right. The plaza area where it's like you can watch them if they're on the road and stuff like that. That's pretty awesome. Like everybody gets that right. Like even the Kings got that right with Doko. But they just haven't put a screen out there yet, but they could easily remedy that. They could put a big TV screen out there. Other than that, it was good. It was easy to access. It was like the King Stadium, except without all the beer and the local restaurant references and stuff like that, which makes, ours a little bit better. And the fact that they stuck with it, even after all these years, it is pretty dope.
Yeah, I mean, when you can spurn an entire fan base to go make things worse, you got to do it. Like everybody else,
of course.
The Warriors.
Well, you would just think again, a place that's won 4 championships, they would put a little like emphasis on glitz. Yeah, just make it yours. But it seemed like they were like, we might move, so let's just like not paint the walls or anything because you never know with this market.
Yeah, it's like the rent's unaffordable. We actually made a bad move. We can't afford upgrades. The rent's
it'd be like not putting statues. Like they could have put anything. They just it was it's very
like a Bill
bad.
Russell statue, just as like throwback.
Yeah,
to the stadium he played in.
Oh no, they're the only like just like most Warrior fans. This is their recent history is like 2010.
Yeah, no, of course, right. You can't honor anybody before that because who is there to honor?
Right. Baron Davis.
Oh, that would be great. Baron Davis Duncan on that one, dude.
Oh, yeah, dude.
That's only good dunks.
We
Baron
believe.
Davis is a beast.
On Dirk? Was it on Dirk?
I think it was on Dirk. Because it was, 8 versus 1. It was a dunk that, like, sealed that, like let him know, like, hey, we're winning.
Richardson.
Oh, yeah, Jason Richardson dunking on anybody.
Yeah.
Plenty of good.
Deodringe.
Yes, right. Andres Biedrins. We definitely forgotten hero David Lee. Maybe we put David Lee out there.
David Lee. Oh my God.
Rest in peace. He's like he's still alive.
Kevin Love before Kevin Love. Yeah.
But he was an integral part of that first championship, and nobody remembers.
Yeah, he was. He doesn't.
And then actually, we benched him to make sure he won. But that's
what they were saying. That he was like a Zito. Yeah, it's like we won, even though we gave him lots of money, and he didn't play very much.
But when it came to the last 3 games, we kind of just let him rot.
Andre Iguodala saved him. He should get the statue first. He took less money and played less, to stay there.
Yeah, and we haven't talked about Andre Iguodala for a long time on this podcast. Big Iguodala fans over here.
Oh yeah, huge. Yes, we are.
Let me tell you,
we recognize game.
This blueberry, not very good.
Yeah.
Blueberry's gone.
Well, you know what? I'm still working on this watermelon candy thing, and it's not better.
I feel like we're probably drinking the same thing at this point.
This is so sweet. It's so gross.
Oh, mine's not. Okay. Yeah.
It's just mine is like a melted popsicle.
Oh boy. So I did want to. I brought these beers out because I know we did our a milkshake of the year because Harden and Westbrook weren't in the running because nobody liked what they were doing across the board.
They're on the trophy now. They can't win it anymore.
Yeah. Right. The Michael Jordan conundrum. You can't just keep giving him MVP.
You can't keep being just same thing.
Yeah. This is season 3 of Please Dunk Responsibly.
We know you're good. All right, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
So I feel like it is Kyrie Irving, right?
Oh, it's not even a question. It's clearly Kyrie
but we didn't
Irving.
bring him up last time. I'm like, well, we should have been like, yeah, it's him.
We should have been, but no, it's
flat
him.
earther, anti-vax guy who balls out with a half season off.
Since the pandemic, since everything, the jackass moves, the contradicting of things that he wants to do.
And then just crushing on the road. Just crushing on the road.
Oh, then crushing on the road. Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
And again, just gifted.
Yeah.
But he's, again, this guy is just naturally gifted, and I'm sure he really works hard when he wants to be there. But there's a lot of things that can make him not want to be there. And I don't deal with, I like Stephen A. Smith very much.
No.
He's entertaining.
No.
But good Lord, he is one of the first public figures to really kind of like go after Kyrie and just say like, you make zero sense. And
he doesn't.
And he doesn't. No, he doesn't. And he tried to find a trade market. He knew there wasn't really one because again, he's toxic and people just don't know what they're going to get. And so they're not going to give up a lot to get burnt by him. And so he knew he had no choice but to sign the deal. Now they think, again, these wishes that, I mean, I'm sure there's a way if the Lakers can find 4 teams to trade with to make something like that happen. Sure. I think that's the same thing with KD is going to have to happen, and why it's going to take time for Phoenix to make it work is because you're probably going to lose your guy. You're probably going to lose Cam Johnson.
I know. He's definitely fodder.
But he's going to be in a trade going.
He's going off to lesser pastures.
Yes, I don't know if
yellower pastures.
Charlotte or what, but there's going to be some young team that's going to have to give up a whole lot to get.
Speaking of Charlotte, Michael Bridges fucked up.
Yeah, and he picked the wrong time.
Yeah,
wrong time to fuck up.
Timing is everything. He's like, what about the day before? What if I just ruined everything the day before?
He's like Ray Rice. It's just like right before he's like about to get this huge contract, you like just cold cock your wife and knock her out,
look,
and
that's
it's like,
way
well,
worse than what Michael Bridges did, but
sure. And it's just an example.
Right.
But it's just of timing. Timing is everything.
Like a better example using the Ravens is like Ray Lewis murdering a man before the Super Bowl. That's a more apt. That's a Eugene Robinson getting caught with a prostitute the night before the Super Bowl.
Yes, it's something between both of us. Yes, I think we're getting there. I think those are the barometers.
God.
Is it murdering somebody before the Super Bowl or cold cocking your wife in an elevator?
Okay. I'm going to give some leeway here. Possibly just an accessory to murder before the Super Bowl. Oh, yes, that could be it. Yes. Yeah, let's
now, which one's on the high end and which one's on the low end? That's what we have to decide. Oh, yeah, he's in in some boiling water.
But now he's cheap, so maybe we just do a quick. D'Angelo Russell comes over here. We send Michael Bridges over there. We immediately ship D'Angelo Russell elsewhere because we don't need him because LaMelo Ball exists. But you can get off of that.
I think he could end up back with the Nets. I think Nets seem to be just stockpiling 1-year guys. I don't know if it's to package them. I don't know what it's like. TJ Warren move seemed like a weird move because it's like it's just a move before the move. I feel like because it's like, is he ever even going to wear a uniform?
Like we all know these guys can share tendons, so like the more broken if you got one working tendon, we'll bring you in and we'll just eventually cobble together.
Like the Kings
a full
aren't
athlete.
even doing like that. Seems like a King move, and the Kings don't even do that. Like it's like so funny to me. Like I'm just like. So what did you like? Because I was like, oh, the Kings should take a flyer on him. I see that. And it's like, the people who are trying to trade Kevin Durant. That's the guys who need to do that. Where they already have to move like 18 million pieces to make that happen.
Yeah.
Let's bring you in that might work, or you might tear an Achilles just putting on shorts.
I don't know where you put Durant at this point. We've shown a lot of evidence that the 2 threes doesn't work out. Like, you can't have 2 small forwards on the same team that are like really good and have it work out for you crystal, like just clean. There's so much evidence that says that doesn't work.
He wants Phoenix or the Heat. I feel like the Heat could work because they need offense, and they have.
But you can't have him and Butler on the same. They can't.
He's going to hate each other.
That's the 2 threes. You can't do it. There's too much evidence saying.
I mean, you could. Well, because he plays more of like
a 4.
Like a 4,
Stretch 5. Like at this point, he plays he could do it. But then what does Bam do? Bam's already like.
Well, Bam's going to be part of. Bam's going to be part of that deal. He's got to be part of the trade. Tyler Hero and him are probably the two that go. Maybe Duncan. You have to probably send Duncan Robinson.
Yeah, he's got all the money. Give all the money.
Yeah, he's got all the money. So you got to. Yeah, I'm telling you.
But then you can just go over to Phoenix and be like, hey, well. Give me DeAndre Ayton and Cam Johnson. That gives me a 3 and a 5, and you get a 3 you can play the 5.
But does Ayton do that deal? Because Ayton doesn't have to help him.
Sign and trade.
He could get his max doing that.
We talked about this,
but he could be bitter. Yes, of how dumb they are. Yes,
and how much they've been disrespected, and how poorly run the Suns are despite that. I feel like he would be willing to make the money work to get that done so he can be gone and be in a place where people want him. But also the Nets just re-signed their center, Nick Claxton. So that's another thing.
Yeah.
But also, you can.
Well, he could probably be in the trade too. He could. You could move him for a bag of peanuts. Yeah. You just move him for Duncan Robinson and something else.
Throw in the other guy.
Yeah, he's going to be a part of that bag of peanuts.
What's that guy?
But if Kyrie Irving stays and he has Ayton, if he plays most games, that could be interesting.
Cam Johnson and maybe.
Like, are they better than Philadelphia if it's Ayton and Kyrie Irving and they play every game?
Mikhail, what's his face?
Mikhail Bridges. Yeah.
Was I right? Who's the guy?
Yeah, I think
Miles
you were.
Bridges. Is
I don't
the
know.
guy
Miles Bridges, who you're thinking of.
Okay, yeah.
Is the one that's in the
the
nest.
Oopsie Doodles. Okay.
Yes, the Oopsie Doodles. Yes, he's in the wink, wink, clinkety clink.
Yes,
great. As we like to say just right now.
Yeah.
This beer is terrible.
Let's see. I mean, we should. I'm not going to prognosticate our futures. I'm like, we have plenty of time to do a lot of off-season stuff. No, we don't. We're
going to do something. We'll try to.
I'm not committing to anything. We'll be back when we're back. We're going to try to.
Yeah, we're going to try to do it when we can. But if the trade is done, we could easily do an IG live. I think for 5 minutes.
27 minutes.
Talk about it when it happens. Yeah, and then we'll try again to break it all down.
Kevin Durant to the Warriors.
If that happens again,
for Kuminga and Curry. I'm calling it now.
Turning off Barker.
The Warriors, they move to San Francisco. They say, fuck you, Oakland, and they get rid of Curry to bring back Durant. An absolute heel turn.
Oh my God! They would be the worst team in basketball.
They would be the people who would do that.
They would be the Nets, and then they'd have to change their colors. They would have to change their colors and everything. And it adds that added wrinkle of being the New Jersey / Brooklyn, where good point guards go to die.
Kyrie Irving, what up? Jason Kidd, I don't care if you resurrected yourself in Dallas. We're still counting you. Darren Williams, we see you. We do. Oh God. They tried so many times. But we forgot the Knicks tried to have point guard savior again. Jalen Brunson. They're trying to get
Jalen
him
Brunson
to be the new
yes.
Knicks point
They do
guard.
again the max trade on a guy who had averages 11 points a game but had really one good year. Now again, don't get us wrong but again, another thing is he just left Luka. Dude, he was out of there.
Yeah.
Is Luka a nightmare and nobody's talking about it?
No. I feel like Jalen Brunson's like, I'm worth more than I want to be a starting point guard. That's the point guard disease. They all want to be starters.
You don't
Eric
think
Snow
it's a
wanted to be
Luka
a point
thing?
guard. Reggie
Nobody
Jackson.
wants to play with Luka.
What?
Nobody wants to play. I'm just putting it out there. Breaking news.
Breaking news. A guy who wasn't as good as we thought he was, who gets hurt a lot, didn't work out in Dallas, and a guy who's backing up Lucas. Like, I feel like I could probably do better if I was a starter. That's the breaking news. You and me are fighting, Phil. There's no
Luka
breaking
is a
news.
cancer, and he's going to be our Milkshake IPA next year.
Here's where Phil Webster's coming in. He's like, you know what? Here's what I'd say. Marvin Bagley was the right pick, and history will tell us that.
That's how you end up on Fox and have your own talk show, is by taking the worst takes you could possibly take and just believing in them in all your heart.
Classic Stephen A. Smith. Just get mad about it. Just yell. And
if you yell
whatever,
loud
man,
enough that it makes you love it. Yeah, because then people just are like, fine. You're inconsolable.
ESPN has
blasphemous.
Not great at talent acquisition lately.
No, it's a lost art.
And retention. They lose a lot.
Well, and everybody knows that now. So everybody now is just starting to use them as a platform to create their own, leader. And they just walk away.
They're the sports leader.
They were the sports leader. They believed they were, and they were for 30 years, and now they're not.
Yeah, and like America was the world leader. We believed that for 240 years, and now they're not.
Yeah. And now we're not. And the internet eventually is caught up, and people are finding out the truth.
And then the Warriors trade Curry for Durant. They thought they were the NBA leaders, and
then that will be our first. And then that will be our first telecast from Canada.
Yeah. Okay, so I saw that like Raptors might be making moves for Durant.
I heard that they were the easiest suitor because they have
they're
the
12 miles
and
away.
The draft picks. Well, that too. And they have the draft picks and the talents.
Anunoby.
Yeah. They would keep probably Siakam, but they would trade Anunoby.
Why would you want Siakam? He's a 3. You can't have 2 threes.
Well, because Durant can play a 4.
Anunoby's a 3. You get
rid of Anunoby. Somebody has to play when Durant's not on the floor. Like
no.
That's how you have another Achilles.
Chris Boucher can play the 3. I don't care if he's 7
Oh God! How did you even bring Boucher up in this?
Chris Boucher's great.
No, get out of here. He's not great.
Fred VanVleet can play the 3. That's what I heard.
VanVleet is going to be a great piece. He's also going to be this Brunson thing, and he's going to get a huge contract. At least he's made big shots and won a championship. Brunson hasn't done anything. He's a nice player. He is a nice player. I would like him on the Kings again. On the Knicks makes 0 sense, but sure, whatever. They're just going to keep getting all of these aforementioned guys that like are good on okay teams and then do nothing. Like, we'll take that point guard from Orlando. Oh, we'll take that point guard from, you want to bring Derrick Rose back? Sure, we'll do that. Like,
the Knicks are so bad. God.
They're just, I'm glad I'm not a Knicks fan. The Sacramento Kings get made fun of constantly. I was listening to Dan Le Batard show. They constantly made fun of us. We're always being made fun of, especially because we missed the playoffs so long. So now that even makes us more famous than actually being a basketball team. But I would still take it over being a Knicks fan.
Yeah, I'm sorry. 40 years of futility.
Yeah.
With the Knicks.
Yes. Of almost being there.
No, they were never almost. There was 2 years. The Allen Houston, Larry Johnson years.
Yes, when Jordan was retired,
and
that was their best chances to win.
And
they blew
never
both
again,
of them.
and never.
They
before.
got to the finals once, and then they lost in the Eastern.
That's an 8 seed. Very impressive. Strike shortened season.
Yeah,
but still
strike shortened season. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, we forgot to
And
mention this. I know it's a basketball podcast, but it was Bobby Bonilla Day the other day.
Oh yes, it was the other day.
Lovely.
Cheers to Bobby Bonilla Day.
Great.
He gets, I think, 4 more years. Is it 2026?
No, I think it's 2036.
2036.
Yeah, it's 14 more years.
Oh my God!
There's a 30-year extension.
What a retirement!
But
we could pay you $9 million right now, but listen to this:
1.2 for 30 years.
We could pay you $30 million.
I know,
mathematician,
but I'll take $40 million slowly over $9 million now.
What did they think? Like $1 million was going to be worth like a penny?
Like, if the inevitable collapse of our society happens, we'll lose only $12 million on this deal. But we want to play
America
Bobby Bonilla.
will end. Yeah, we're thinking America's going to end by 2019. So
that should be fine. Who do we have in left field now? I don't know. Could Bobby Bonilla outplay him at 43? Maybe. What was the move?
Can you imagine Cohen when he bought the team and they were like, okay, so there's this one thing you have to look for on this bill. At the end of the year, you're going to have like just this 100.2 million just gone, and you're going to be like,
he's like, that's fine. I'm going to give all my money to this guy who says he can get it all back for me down the road. And I'll just keep giving him money with no return for years, and then he'll go to jail.
Bill Maher was part of all the Bernie Madoff.
Yeah,
don't
forget, you're telling this guy, hey, about money, and he's like, Bernie Madoff's my guy, so yeah, we're gonna be fine.
Yeah, he's like, don't worry, he's like, that worked out right.
I'm the number one sap for this guy. So yeah, Bobby Bonilla's fine. I'm down for this. This is fine.
Yeah, he's like, I miss he's like, I get $1 million goes missing from my account all the time. Yes, all the time. You mean it's the same amount every single time? Yeah.
Great. I would love that kind of stability.
Yes. If I knew I was just gonna get a check in July 1st or whatever, I would take that.
Man. All right. That's an hour. We got to get out of here. Anything else?
I think we covered it.
I feel like there's a lot we haven't covered. The draft. My Thunder cleaned up. That's what I'm going to say. Every time I looked, I was doing something that night. Every time I looked at the TV, the Thunder were on the board and making killer moves. That's all I'll say.
The Thunder do a lot of getting picks. He's really good at that. Sam Presti is very good at that.
If you like long, skinny people, check out the Thunder for the next 12 years.
Detroit did the most mediocre moves I had ever seen in my life. Traded for mediocre people, paid Bagley $37 million to just stand there. Like, unbelievable. Like, the Detroit Pistons, I could have gone 15 minutes. That's my little take, is that, wow, mediocrity. I would have rather paid Beal $251 million than paid what they did for Bagley and a whole bunch of pieces.
No, you're forgetting what Detroit is. They're classic grit and grit for all of existence.
There's no Ben Wallace isn't walking through that door, as they like. They're like,
but if we get a lot of guys in there, it's kind of like we have Ben Wallace. They can shoot free throws better, and that's a positive, right?
I mean, are you building around Cat Cunningham? Like, you give away your best player to Portland, and then you say, let's get home.
Can you imagine the preseason pep talk? Darko Milicic's not walking through that door.
So now they have Jordan Ivey, they have Bagley,
Cade Cunningham.
Can you imagine Jeremy Grant going like, I'm gonna stay here, I'm gonna turn this thing around. They trade for Marvin Bagley, pay him, and then get you out of town. Like,
good job, Jeremy. I'm so happy for you. Oh my God, what a death knell the Pistons are. Oh my God.
They're so bad. Get
Nobody's
out of
paying
there.
attention. Like, oh, we got highlights and the Pistons played and they lost and moving on. Like, there's not even a package.
Yeah. No, it's going to be
Like, Blake
Detroit and
Griffin
Indiana.
scored 14 points again.
It's going to be Halliburton, and it's like Detroit lost by 28. It'll be like, oh, but Marvin Bagley had 15 and 8.
Oh, what an
it's
all-star caliber player that guy is. They
It's
scored a
like,
total of
yeah.
43 points. Somebody had to put something in there.
Yeah, exactly. He scored 15 and 8 because he played almost the entire game because nobody else is as tall as him on his team.
He shot 5 for 43, but he got there, buddy. Somebody had to take these shots and somebody had to score these points. Like, you can't get to 43 without somebody
10
hitting
of those
15.
lobs. Yeah, exactly. If he had only made 50% of the lobs that they passed through.
It's like we have one of the most dynamic basketball players of all time, one of the most beautiful, like, fun to watch basketball players. Yeah, he hurt his knee a few times. Blake Griffin, what do you got? 13.2? I don't know. I think he scored like 23, but like nobody cares.
Sat him on the bench, didn't use him. They just are like,
oh yeah, when they put him in on
if
ice.
you're not dunking over cars, we just aren't going to use you. Like, unbelievable.
And we make cars here. We did in the 80s. We did a lot of great things in the 80s.
If he would only jump over the Ford pickup truck, they would have kept him.
Yeah, just save the one we have left. We are tanking like the housing prices here.
Oh my God.
This is just me throwing out jokes the rest of the show.
This is just what we're doing. They're filibustering at the end here.
Yeah.
But yes, once hopefully we hear something about
I'm sorry,
Durant,
it's a filibuster.
or Kyrie. See, I was going to try to fail and Benster. That was a terrible idea. Anyway. But yes, we're hopefully hearing something about Kyrie and stuff once they can work that out with all. They're going to take like 8 teams to make those trades work. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm sure there'll be in Indiana or Sacramento or something involved. Like that's going to maybe even San Antonio. Who knows? Like we'll see what happens. But yeah, Dallas is a question mark. They've gotten worse, and they don't have a point guard, and I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah, it's the Magic Blazers of last year. Like, what are they doing this offseason? Like, well, I don't know.
It's just like we went to the Western Conference Finals, and they're like, so how are you guys going to get back? And they're like, I don't know.
We're going to get rid of our third best player? I don't know. We're just going to let him walk. Because, like, to be fair, you shouldn't pay him the money he wants. So, like, it's not unreasonable, but, like, now your team needs something.
Right. Don't do that unless you have a backup plan. And it didn't seem like anybody was begging to go to Dallas.
No.
Like nobody was saying we're about to sign with Dallas. Don't worry. Like, that nothing's happened on that end yet. So I don't know if it's a Mark Cuban thing. I don't know if it's a Luka thing, but I think a lot of people don't want to go into that situation thinking like, oh, Luka's always right. And we're wrong because he's the child. So it's like, unless you're a big guy again who just likes grabbing rebounds, I don't know what you're going to do there.
Yeah, I mean, they're good coaches now in Indiana, so that's where you'd want to go.
Yes, and you know why and that's another reason. That's into my conspiracy theory is on why he left because I thought he was just going to retire, but the fact that he went into Indiana was just like, I don't want to deal with this. Because
Indiana's like a giving, it's like the giving tree of basketball. It's just like, people just want to play basketball.
He wanted to give back to, he didn't want this ISO Luka thing.
Yeah, no.
Like he just knew that this guy's not coachable. He's just like, that guy's not coachable, and he didn't want to do it again.
I feel like Mark Cuban's like, no, we're handing the keys over. He's like, but I'm the guy, I'm the reason we did what we did. And he's like, yeah, but this guy is special. It's like, so is James Harden, but look what happened. And so I think he bounced. And that's 100% reasonable. And I feel like you can't go to Texas because they also hate women and they definitely want you to be dead by a gun. So like that's not reasons. In your favor.
There's a lot of reasons.
Like Mark Cuban seems like a pretty reasonable guy. He seems like a pretty cool guy. He's good with money.
He seems like a good guy to work with, but I'm telling you, there's some conspiracy
might get shot
theory to
just
this
going to practice. Maybe you don't go there.
Just remember who's the first to say that Luka was toxic, because I think it's
okay. Okay, look, we've got it marked.
I get the first.
And I do feel
take.
bad for not saying that this is Phil's catchphrase, and my take is Kevin Durant's great. That's how good he is. He's fantastic.
Yes, you thought he was real. The whole thing was, the joke was, how good is Kevin Durant really when he wanted to trade out of, or how good he was going to be in Brooklyn when he got back healthy, to reiterate it. And then you were like, laughable. You're like, of course he's fantastic. He's gonna be great. So he's going to be
his
great.
His only problem is his foot's an inch too long. That's his only problem.
Yes, and he doesn't know how to pick good friends. So that's his other problem.
And that's an undervalued skill.
Yes. He's very good at basketball and terrible with people judging.
And social media. He's also bad at social media.
He's also really bad at social media. He thinks he's good, which is even more like worse, is that he thinks he's good. Because he's high when he's doing it, so he's like laughing at himself. And then he's like, oh yeah, that's super funny. I'm going to tell you.
Look,
great take, Holmes.
He made a great move going to Golden State. But
bed.
Would you rather be in Brooklyn right now or Oklahoma City 5 years ago?
Oh, yeah, Oklahoma City.
Right. So, idiot. Happy 4th of July. Sorry, it was in my Facebook memory. Happy 4th of July,
everybody.
That's when he made the decision.
Oh, that is. It was right. It was, I don't remember where we were.
Lovely Russell Westbrook Independence Day cupcakes.
And somebody told me on the golf course, they were like, he's going to the Warriors. And I was like,
shut up.
Shut the fuck up. There's no way. No, he's not.
What a cowardly move.
It just came across my thing, and I was like, that's impossible.
Oh, wait a second. New theory coming in. I was like, what a cowardly move. Cowardly Lion. The Lions are in Detroit. What if he ends up in Detroit and just his career's over?
That would... but that would be a twist that I would love.
I would love to see
that they would just send him to the worst place.
You're going to Siberia, Detroit.
Yeah, and they're like, you guys figure it out.
Yeah.
Because that's what's going to happen, obviously, through all this, is that he's going to be like, well, Phoenix can't do this deal, and the Heat don't have enough to do this deal.
And they don't want to.
Where else will you play?
There's no way Pat Riley is going to get 2 threes together. We have to go, is the point that I was making.
We do.
27 minutes ago.
Let's get out of here. We'll talk on IG as soon as a play is made or something else exciting happens during free agency, I promise.
Watch out for Darko Horse Detroit. Oh, God. We have to go.
Oh, God. Get out of here. All right.
We have a way out. All right. You can follow. I've been one of your hosts, Ben Rice. You can follow us across social media. That's not really true. Okay. You can follow us on Instagram at Please Dunk Responsibly, on Twitter at Please Dunk Pod. That's PLZ Dunk Pod. Email us don't forget to slide into our GMs with your possible trade scenarios, your beer comparisons, the people you want us to compare to players, or to beers, and beers you want us to compare to players. That's Please Dunk Responsibly at gmail.com. I don't think either of us remember the password or have access to that account, but do it anyway and see if we remember. We'll be. I'm not committing to anything. We'll be back. At some point, live or something. As soon as something happens, breaking. Which is why you got to follow us on Instagram. We got memes every once in a while.
We got memes. We're doing it. We're following stuff. We're making jokes. Follow us,
antagonizing people.
Podcast.
We're doing all the big stuff.
We're trying.
We're making moves like the Sacramento Kings. Oh my God.
We're trying to be mediocre at best. Let's go. All right.
Right. Well, I don't know.
You can follow you on.
Yeah, on social media, across social media at Barley and Me Pod. That's Instagram, that's Facebook, that's Twitter. You can also do at Comedian Ben Rice on Twitter if you want to do that. It's mostly political right now. Phil, where can people find you?
On Twitter, Peter Parkour. Also making a lot of jokes and memes and trying to keep things light in these terrible times. And
keep it heavy.
And Yeah, and Culinary Lando on Instagram, taking pictures and trying to do little live things at the California Classic. It was fun. So, yeah, follow us, come see us, pay attention. We're getting hot.
Slide into RGMs. That's a catchphrase from the first season we've constantly forgotten to bring back, no matter how great it is. So again, that's the episode. I've been Ben Rice.
And I've been Phil Webster.
Reminding you
to
please dunk responsibly.